Hi, I'm Dr. Dave, and welcome back to the Good Life Lab, where we explore and experiment with tools, tips, and techniques for boosting our mental health. I'm a therapist and former college professor of counseling and psychology and positive psychology researcher, which basically means I study the science of happiness. And it's an interesting, journey for myself, moving from kind of a lifetime of depression to really then seasonal depression, and then greater happiness through some of the tools that I've practiced myself and developed for other people. So I specifically want to reach queer men, and I think there's an epidemic of mental health crisis. I really want to focus my efforts in reaching more queer men with this message of boosting your mood. So this series, as I've mentioned before, is a 4-week series on boosting your mood. I'm calling Boost Your Mood Queer Dude. So something that will help men in general, I think, and specifically since I'm gay, helping queer men boost their emotional and mental well-being. And so it's a 4-week series, but also each week is a different topic. So last week was relationships. This week is transcendence and how you can connect to something greater than yourself, which is really critical for mental health and well-being. And this all comes out of my own experience. I'm trying to do this as a vlog style recording because I want to share my own experience in a more natural format and what's helped me with my own mental health, and then also tools that can help you as well. So in this last part 3 of this series on transcendence, expressing gratitude in relationships has contributed to a sense of awe, a greater sense of being connected to somebody else or something greater than myself. So I'm going to really share the story around how I created this year-long gratitude project. I call it the Gratitude Visit because it's based on science, positive psychology research, which basically said there's a researcher that took Martin Seligman, kind of the founder of positive psychology, did this study around writing letters of gratitude to people that made a difference in your life. And he found that through his research that when you read a letter to somebody, a gratitude letter to somebody, and your mood, as well as the person you read the letter to, was boosted for up to a month after the reading of the letter. And so when I came across this research several years ago, I had progressed from what I think may have been clinical depression for a long time. I was depressed, kind of low-grade depression for a long time, and sometimes more serious, to I got better over time, and then it was more seasonal depression. I still wanted to kind of find my way through that seasonal depression and not have it as much. And so I created this year-long project based on the gratitude research. I decided to write a letter to somebody different every month for that year and actually create adventures around it. So I would go travel all over the country and deliver these letters that I wrote specifically for these friends that I had that made a difference in my life. And so I started with my mom, and actually that's an interesting part of it because the first letter to her, well, I took her to IHOP and had treated her to breakfast. And then afterwards, I pulled out this letter, which I framed for her and read it to her. And I expected maybe some tears or some some deeper emotion than she experienced. And she was grateful, but I was the one who started crying as I was reading. And I noticed, though, even though research said that your mood is boosted for a month after that, as well as the person you read the letter to, mine was definitely boosted. I felt more grounded, but I also felt better about myself and about life. But it only lasted for a couple days. So I committed myself to doing this for a year, 1 letter a month for a year. And at that point, I was like, I want to keep doing this since the benefit wasn't really that great to me. I wanted to kind of have a longer lasting benefit. But I decided that as part of my commitment that it wasn't just for me, it was for the person that I was reading the letters to. And so I decided to continue it, and I kind of lost track of monitoring my own mood. The second letter, I went to visit a friend, and I just traveled from there on out and wrote the letters. And it was not only the delivery of the letter, but the practice of rehearsing and remembering good things about this other person and my relationship with them was a mood booster in itself. So writing the letter was good, but then also delivering it, have that kind of back and forth and that time to just reminisce and enjoy each other's friendship, that was definitely a boost as well. And then traveling, an adventure of traveling all over the country. So those few things really contributed to kind of changing my mood around gratitude. And those three things really helped me shift my mood and boost my mood that year. And by the end of that year, so this is actually 2017, I think it was from January to December, I noticed that my mood shifted. I didn't really feel the depression I had felt previously in previous winters. And now it's been 8 years since then, and I still haven't had that level of depression that I had before that in the wintertime. So it's really kind of transformed my thinking around gratitude, and also just these mental health practices that I've done have really shifted my mood around it. So I don't have these great dips that I used to have. So that's where I've found that gratitude has increased, it gave me the sense of connection to something greater than myself, not just to people, but I think it was the adventure I created that helped me have more of an experience of awe and wonder as I traveled, as I expressed my gratitude, as I connected to something greater in terms of my friends in my greater community. So that's why I think gratitude can be a great source of finding awe and wonder in your friendships and relationships, as well as with yourself. So I recommend it. I'm going to provide kind of instructions for how to go about writing your gratitude letter. And I'm also writing a book about the gratitude visit. So at some point you might see that on my website as part of this book series that I'm doing. So that's something to look forward to as well. But for now, just take some time to look at some of the resources I'm going to provide and how to write your own letter. The first thing is just kind of think about the people you want to write a letter to. Somebody's made a difference. And at first, it might be harder to think about those people who have made an impact. But in some way, almost every friend I have has made a difference in my life. So it's easy to think, once you start thinking about it, that your life is impacted in many different ways from people that come across your path. So take some time to be grateful. You don't have to kind of make this a big letter writing exercise. You can just be more mindful of the friends that you have and the things that they've done. And maybe it's, instead of writing a letter, it's just journaling about it at first, or thinking at the end of the day, being intentional about your end of day practice before you go to bed, and just think of one thing that happened that day you're grateful for, or one person that you're grateful for and why you're grateful for them. That could be enough of a shift to boost your mood even a little bit over time. So a few practices you can try this week around awe and transcendence, and specifically gratitude, and how that can bring a sense of awe into your life and boost your mood. As I close, don't forget to check out my website, join my newsletter, so that you can get more information on how to boost your mood, and I also have some digital products for sale on my website around this, kind of creating bigger projects for yourself that might help you have a longer term view of your own mental health and well-being, and finding purpose and direction in your life. So check out those resources on my website, and I will see you next week when we'll talk more specifically about the third week in this series. This Boost Your Mood for Queer Dudes series is on reason for being, or purpose, how to find that in your life. And so how to connect to a greater sense of purpose and mission in your life, which has been really important for me as well. So, all right, make comments. Hopefully I'll be able to see some of the comments and respond to you. And I will look to see you next time. Have a great week.